Studios in Brea, California, here is the Doyledin Podcast.
Welcome back to the Doyledin Podcast, where we're going to be talking about the past 2 weeks of WWE. That includes the 2 nights of SmackDown, a little bit of Raw, a little bit of SmackDown, and a little bit of some behind-the-scenes stuff is what we're going to talk about, too. Stuff that you don't see on the TV, but you see on the news. So, yeah, take it away. You wanted to talk about Cody and John Cena real quick. Let's start off with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely one of the hot topics right now, right? John Cena comes out in SmackDown before SummerSlam and says, "Hey, about this whole heel turn thing, let's forget about that, all right? Let's that didn't work." Yeah, like this is the promo. He's pretty much saying, "Hey, we screwed up, and we're gonna flip it back now. Is that cool with you guys?" And yeah. I mean, I was not expecting that on the promo at all. This came out of left field, but it was amazing because it worked. Because I think the fans themselves, once Cena turned heel, because, for years, Cena sucks. They wanted to see him turn heel. And once he turned heel, the wrestling fans were like, "Oh, shit, no, this wasn't what we wanted." So as soon as he said, "Hey, you know what, this didn't work," they just popped huge. They're like, "Yes, we got Cena back. We got the John Cena that we hated for so long. We now have back, and we're going to treat him with respect because we've only got 11 shows left." So it's one of those things that if you had done that with a Shawn Michaels or a Bret Hart, even, I think people would have went, "Ah, fuck, this is bullshit." But because it's John Cena, the darling of WWE, the Hulk Hogan of the 2000s, all is forgiven. And I think especially with losing Hulk just not too long ago, and people realizing, "Oh shit, we booed him the last time he was out here, and now we don't get a chance to even, cheer him ever again." I think a lot of that plays into the emotions, and people were just so excited that, okay, we got John Cena back. This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
But then,
do you partially think it's also due because the heel run that he was having was kind of trash? Like, it wasn't really that great.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. It started out great. I mean, it started out hot, like where he
Started
was
out
just
really great.
killing the fans. But I think once they realized that it wasn't going to work with this Travis Scott tool that they brought in, which was a huge mistake, and then The Rock just not being who they thought he was going to be at this stage in his career and life. I don't know if it's something where I can't commit to this now because now I'm doing this movie, and that screws up everything else. And then they had to pivot with Cena as far as the promos go because you know whatever, it just wasn't going to work by himself. I don't know exactly, but I would say that they never let The Rock ever get involved in a storyline or have creative control over anything ever again, because this could have been a complete disaster, and this could have really ruined the last 10 months of John Cena's career. But they salvaged it, and I think kudos to Triple H and the WWE creative team for being able to bring it back around and slowly get Cena back on board with people, and then finally drop it like, "Okay, I'm back," you know. And the whole Cody beating the shit out of Cena the week before and getting Cena's hand and signing the contract, and Cena thanking Cody for that when Cody came out and saying that's the kick in the ass he needed. It all played in perfectly. So I think they've been trying to get to this point for the last month or so, maybe.
Okay.
Realizing like this heel turn is not going to go how it hasn't gone how we wanted it to go, and it's never going to get there. So let's slowly start bringing you back in, because you can't just do it all of a sudden. You guys are pieces of shit one week, and then, hey, I was just kidding, the next week. So
Yeah.
slowly over the last couple of months, he's been kind of getting back on the side of the fans and not being so harsh on them, and kind of spitting more truths about himself and where he is in his career. And I think the fans started, to empathize with him, and that's what they were looking for. And then they were able to pull the plug on it. The SmackDown before SummerSlam, Cody came out and like I said, he thanked Cody and they hugged it out and had a beer together in the middle of the ring and said they were going to beat the shit out of each other at SummerSlam, and but they love each other again. So not in so
Yeah.
many words,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then you had the SummerSlam match. What did you think of the SummerSlam match?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah,
I thought it was one of the best main event matches I've seen in a while,
yeah,
especially with Cody. I mean, it was an incredible match. I mean, and the fact that they had to follow the what was it, versus Gunther match from the previous night. That was an incredible match too. But
yeah.
not to get off topic, but yeah, it was. I thought SummerSlam as a whole was great. Um, Fantastic matches overall. Um, but I really liked the Cena and Cody match. I thought it was really great. I had the very end of it spoiled with Brock Lesnar coming out. I was spoiled that Brock Lesnar was somehow going to show up at SummerSlam, and then once the match ended, I was like, oh, I was kind of expecting Brock to come out because wasn't it a street fight or was it not a street fight?
It was a street fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
street fight. So I was expecting like Brock Lesnar to come out like in the middle or something, but thankfully he didn't because I think it would have ruined the matches as a whole. But yeah, I thought it was fantastic all around. Um, yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I totally agree. It was,
Yeah.
I think it was seen as best matches ever. And definitely one of Cody's better matches in recent times. He's had good matches and all that, but he's still getting the boos. There was still people out there booing him, and I was fully expecting him to turn heel. And I think they're going to drag this out here a little bit, but it's got to come before. I mean, it's really got to come between now and the Royal Rumble, in my opinion, and set up a heel match for him at WrestleMania. Um, so
Who do you think his
you know,
opponent
it,
would be? Who do you think his first opponent as a heel would be? Sami Zayn?
oh my god, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it could be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
That's one way I'd go. Roman's on a schedule right now where he's not, he's a part timer basically. So do you put that out there and kind of give the illusion that, hey, this is a big main event, but deep down, well, he's a part timer. He's probably not going to win the title. So it's going to be a Cody win. But I think that you have to have somebody big like that. I don't think you can go into WrestleMania um, with any of your champions against a subpar talent. It's not.
Yeah.
You can do it with Clash in Paris or one of the other pay-per-views, PLEs that you have during the year. But for WrestleMania, I mean, they really got to start building somebody now. And does Brock Lesnar turn face before you know WrestleMania next year? Uh, who knows? That could be another option there. Um,
You think Brock
but
Lesnar's here to stay, or you think he's kind of just here for Cena and then
yeah, I
that's
think I think
that?
he's got a shelf life. I think he's got a certain amount of time that he's working with too.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of his last hurrah as well. We got a whole generation of stars right now that we're going to be saying goodbye to, um, over the next 12 to 24 months. And Randy Orton's kind of the same age, but he looks in amazing condition. But the back issues, I mean, is that going to be something that's going to take him away full time and
Yeah.
eventually have him wind down the next 12 to 24 months, so it's something they got to start building now. They got to start building some talent now and some bigger guys. And Sami Zayn for me is not it. So I don't know what they're doing there, but I mean, I'm over seeing him getting opportunity after opportunity and playing the bleeding heart every week. Uh, so it's got to be something more compelling, and it's got to be something that's holy shit. I want to see this guy. If he's a babyface, I want to see this guy go to the top, and I'll buy his merchandise. That's at the end of the day, it's a business, right? That's what they're always looking for.
Yeah.
Uh, Steve Austin, Hogan, Brett, all those guys. Can you sell merchandise? That's what's going to elevate you. Um, as a heel, you want it to be a big monster who's going to, be a threat to whoever the babyface is,
And
and
make the
people go, "Holy
babyface look
shit, my
good.
hero's in trouble." Yeah, my hero's in trouble, and he's vulnerable. You know, so I don't know. I mean, Drew McIntyre. I don't know. I mean, there's a few on the roster right now that they could shift around and turn face or turn heel and stuff like that. But again, they really got to start building storyline wise. I mean, they've kind of, in my opinion, hurt Drew McIntyre a lot over the last 12 months or so by, almost getting the world championship and losing and losing. And I think they wanted to get that almost storyline there, kind of like Sami Zayn, but on the heel guy. But I don't think it's helped him, And if they put him against Cody in the Clash in Paris, I mean, that you're not going to have Cody lose to Drew McIntyre in Paris. He just got the title back.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be another, loss for Drew, And not saying that that's what the match is going to be, but I don't know who Cody's going to be facing at Clash in Paris.
Yeah. It looks like Drew
'Cause right now,
McIntyre right now.
well, right now they've only got 2 matches on the card because the Stephanie Baker and Naomi matches is not happening, I don't think, because Naomi's hurt.
How'd she get
So
hurt?
I don't even know. They just
Okay.
she was supposed to be on the show last week
That's right.
and on Monday on
Up
Raw.
against Io
And
Sky.
right. And they didn't say exactly what it was, which is kind of weird. I mean, just is it a ACL? Is it a concussion? Is it, you know, ribs? What is it? But so that's interesting. I hope she's okay because she's on a great run right now. She's hell of a talent. I
And
mean,
I was looking forward to that match too. Her and Stephanie Vicure.
absolutely. Well, her and Io Sky was going to be a great match on
Yeah,
Raw
that
too.
too.
But yeah, her and Stephanie Vicur is going to be a great match. But they don't even have it on the website anymore, so I'm
Ooh.
guessing it's not happening. They only have 2 matches on the website. That's the Cena Logan Paul match, and the Rollins Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso.
Ugh.
Yeah, we can get into that momentarily. I mean, I don't want to skip over everything else, but you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
But going back to the Cena thing, got way off topic.
It's okay.
The match was great, like we talked about, right? It was a great match, and then
Yeah.
he came out the next night and gave him another promo, and then we're gonna have Brock next week, or this week, should I say, show up and we'll see where Brock is. Does Brock realign himself with Paul Heyman on SmackDown, even though Paul's on Raw with the other group of guys?
I don't know.
Um,
I think they're calling themselves the Vision, or something.
oh, really?
They were saying that on Raw. It's Seth Rollins and his Vision or something is what they're. But I was like, I thought
Trash.
you guys were calling it the Empire. Whatever.
Empire's great.
Yeah.
I love the Empire. I love that. I mean, but the Vision and the Oracle, I guess it all goes together, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Whatever.
but the whole, I mean, you go back to SummerSlam and talk about Rollins. I don't think we've talked about Rollins showing back up, have we? Since it happened?
No. Yeah,
We
because
predicted it.
we predicted that Rollins was going to come back in some way, shape, or form to make sure Punk
It
doesn't
happened
win that
pretty much
title.
how you said it would happen.
Yeah. Showing up at the end or something, and
Yeah, I mean, you said you'd hit the music and he'd come out, which
yeah,
he did. I would have preferred him to just sneak attack. Holy shit, who's this? Take off the hood. Oh, what the fuck is he doing here? Kind of thing.
yeah,
But I see what they did. They did it your way. They listened to you, and he came out on the crutches, went to walk away, and then dumped the crutches and come down, and then did the
Yeah,
whole
I thought it was
and
great. I thought it was great because it the match that he interrupted was still a great match. I mean, he didn't interrupt the match; he came out after, but still, it was a great
yeah,
match.
they
And
got a great
then,
match. Yeah,
and I'm glad that it was after the match and not like during the match or
right.
whatever. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was great, and I think um it's going to have a really good storyline with CM Punk and Rollins. I think for the next year that this was probably going to go on for. I don't think this is
yeah.
going to
I
go
mean,
away anytime soon. Maybe all the
well,
way
I,
to
th- I think.
Mania.
I mean, no, I think they'll end up having something at Survivor Series.
Okay.
Um, but is it a singles match, or is it Seth and his group against Punk and his group?
Uh,
Because now you have LA Knight involved, because LA Knight then had the match, the night after against
Saturday
Rollins on
night's main
Raw.
event because he fought him at Saturday
Oh
night's
yes,
main
yes.
event, and that's when Seth got injured.
Right, 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 right. And then so yeah, LA Knight wants his rematch, and blaming Punk on that. He got the rematch, and then Punk came out, right? And then
Yeah, Punk came
interfered.
out in the middle of the match and interfered, and then Knight was like, "Hey, what the
Right.
fuck, man? Come on!"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then that's when
Now
Adam
you got Knight
Pierce.
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah. So now you got Knight involved and all that stuff, which is why he's in the four-way, right?
I
Uh
like Knight.
Jey
I
Uso.
mean, I like LA Knight. I don't have a
Hey,
problem
his
with him.
promo with his promo with Punk on Raw I thought was very good. I thought it was his best
Yeah,
promo yet. And Punk was on point with everything as well. Punk never has a bad promo. He's always solid.
yeah.
But LA Knight was so good. I mean, he's definitely got it. He's, I think, ready for some kind of push towards the championship, which is getting here in this match. But do they put the belt on him, and or do they have him? He's a guy, in my opinion, that will be an awesome heel.
Yeah.
Um, but he kind of be a lot like a Rock heel, which is kind of, his character's kind of pseudo Rock, pseudo Steve Austin kind of thing mixed together. Um, but I think he'd be good as a heel down the line.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, if we go Survivor Series, which is really only a couple of months away, which this storyline can take us there. You know, Rollins still needs another member on his team, who I still believe should be Gunther. Um, and then you would have, Punk, uh, LA Knight, Jey Uso.
uh,
Yeah,
how about we get everybody that Paul Heyman kind of screwed over?
Roman
We
Reigns,
get Reigns, Punk,
Lesnar.
Lesnar. that'd be
That
that'd be
could be
cool.
Lesnar's face turn. That could be Lesnar's
Yeah,
face turn.
yeah. I think that
So if
would be
Rhodes
cool.
does turn heel, then Lesnar can do that, and there we go, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I,
I
I do believe that they should have Paul Heyman on both shows, and he should have a stable on both shows, and I think that would be just phenomenal.
where he's with the Seth Rollins and gang on Raw, and then somebody else on SmackDown.
Absolutely,
Interesting. Have they
absolutely.
ever done that before?
No, no, they've never done that before. But I mean, back in the day, you had Bobby Heenan, who had the Heenan family, and there would be some guys on Saturday night's main event that he would have there, and then you'd watch Wrestling Challenge, and he'd be with different guys. Now, they're all recorded at the same time kind of thing, because that back in the day, they used to record, 2 or 3 shows in one day.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just play them over the next couple of weeks on TV. Um, but I think, having something like that will get Paul Heyman so much heat, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll just put a lot of interest into the product from a standpoint of, down the line, you can have, well, first of all, you could have if somebody jumps from Raw to SmackDown and they're part of Paul's stable, they're still a part of Paul's stable when they go to the other brand. Um, but then down the line, to make it interesting, uh, Paul misses the SmackDown because he's busy with the Raw guys doing something. It's like we needed you. Where were you? Oh, so they're more important than us? Holy shit! Here we go. Now you got a civil war in Paul's family, and
Mm,
it leads to something even more.
yeah,
And now you have a brand versus brand kind of thing, and they're fighting for the,
the
the,
custody of Paul
the
Heyman.
custody of Paul Heyman, right?
Yeah,
Which is what we kind of saw with the Mania match, right? With when Rollins turned, you know,
yeah.
it was kind of like they're all fighting for the love of Paul Heyman. Uh, but I mean, it could be entertaining shit if they would go that route where they have a brand versus brand kind of thing. And whoever loses doesn't lose because they lost. They lose because Paul screws them.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he finally leaves the guys from Raw and goes to SmackDown then. And that helps him cross that bridge for and be fresh over on SmackDown for a period of time,
No,
you
they
know?
can't make SmackDown any more interesting than it already is.
It's really good.
I
It's
can't watch SmackDown. I don't have a way to watch it. I have to figure it out. Figure out how to.
you gotta figure it out. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
they show highlights. Watch the highlights on YouTube, man. I
I
keep telling
did,
you.
but I feel like it's just not enough. I feel like I'm missing stuff.
Yeah,
But
although I'll tell you what, the highlights are probably because you're catching all the best bits, so it's probably like, holy shit, you know?
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, but I want to see more creative stuff like that. You know, I like this. I haven't watched it yet. I've watched a couple of snippets for a couple of reasons of WWE Unreal. I don't know if you watched it yet.
yeah, I've heard of it. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Maybe we
So it's
should
cool to see.
watch it and do a episode on it or something. And
Yeah.
yeah,
It's interesting to see the writers' room now and how professional it is compared to when I was there. Oh man. Um, but Ed Koskey, like I mentioned him before, he's good dude. He's still there and one of the top writers. And he started when I was there, and he's just so mature and just it's phenomenal to see his input still being effective on the product. And of course, Bruce Pritchard in there, and Bruce Pritchard gets an awful rap, man. And I tell you what, it's so unfair. If you watch the show, I guess there's a part where he's shadowing Abyss, who's I forget his real name, but he
I'm
was a
not
wrestler
I'm
and
not
now
familiar with this guy.
okay, he's a producer for WWE now as far as the
Okay.
matches goes. And Bruce is just riding him on the show, like just fucking, being tough on him, which is part of the business because it's you're timing a live TV show. You got to get it right. But he's also ribbing him a little bit. And he's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry." He's like, "Hey, you did everything right, but your job." Kind of thing.
Damn. All right.
So, of course, these anti WWE clowns on the internet, giving Bruce shit and how he's such a bully. And it's like, shut the hell up. You guys don't even know the guy. And, Bruce Pritchard is one of the main guys who's been there for such a long time. Never, in the year I was there, not one bad word came out of his mouth about talent. Never did he put anybody down. Never did he, do anything that was bullying or just negative towards anybody. And he's very fair. And if this person's not good, then he'll say this person doesn't fit here. This person is not worthy of this TV time, and that's fair. They're not bringing in any ratings. And if this person's not doing their job right, you know, then that person shouldn't be there. But anyway, not to get off on a tangent, but I want to watch the rest of WWE Unreal. I heard it's really good. It's a reality show, so a lot of it's kind of here's what we're going to
Ah,
talk about for this moment. So let's just talk about this. We're going to show this and that. But still, it gives you a good insight into the workings of the machine.
yeah.
Anyway, what else we got?
So
See, Vince is back on TV. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not. Where was he back?
Oh, he's actually probably on TV right now. TMZ are doing this Hulk Hogan show, and they're interviewing a bunch of people, and they interviewed Vince McMahon, and
Wow.
It was great to see Vince back on TV.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like his father in his father's years, as Vince is probably that same age now. So it was kind of, I don't know. I think you'd say maybe emotional because him and Hogan, they revolutionized this whole industry.
Yeah.
And you know for him to not be welcomed to the tributes they had on Raw and SmackDown had to sting a little bit. um
Yeah.
so I think that's kind of sucked because not only did Hogan build this industry, Vince did. Vince gave him the platform. Vince created everything in between, and it's unfortunate that what's going on right now, and he got left out of that.
You think if
But
Vince were to croak right now, you think they'd have like a tribute to him on Raw and SmackDown?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
I think you would
I mean, they
have
showed
to.
one picture. They showed one picture of him and Hogan in the tribute video. If you ever go back and watch it. There's
Yeah.
only because I was watching, I was seeing how much Vince is going to be in here, and only one picture's on there. Um, and I don't think that's fair at all. I don't think that's fair to the person who gave Hogan the platform
Yeah.
and gave everybody else a job who's succeeded in this industry. But he was sitting in front of his new logo as 14 and I. Um, that's his new company. It's going to be an entertainment company, I guess. Um, and 14 and I is basically the intersection of the in Greenwich, I believe it is, or Stanford, where the original WWF offices were. So
Oh,
it's kind of
that's
a
cool.
little hat tip to Vince Senior and the beginnings of you know what we have in it today.
You
Um,
think he's gonna have his own wrestling company, or what do you think's gonna happen? What do you think he's gonna do?
I don't think he would start fresh with a wrestling company, although I could be wrong. I mean, Vince is. I don't know if he's still the same way. I mean, maybe, but if you're not going to let him back into what he created, maybe he's going to create it again, and he could do it. He could. I mean, he's got the money, he's got the means, and he's got the brains to do it all over again. And I tell you, if he did, as much as people want to talk shit about him, there will be people banging his door down for a job
Yep.
because they know he can make superstars. They know that, hey, this guy can make us money.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Carrying
out the
Cross. He's
gate,
got to hire Carrying Cross.
oh, do we want to talk about Karrion Cross?
I want to know more
Good
about
segue.
it. I want to know more
Good
about it.
segue.
Yeah.
Well, about Karrion Cross?
Yeah, like what happened? Tell me like
Well,
they
so
just decided,
here's my take.
all right, the storyline is over. Sami Zayn's not going to turn heel and we're done with you, Carrion. Even though you sold a bunch of merch for us, the crowd was going nuts for you. We're done. That's all I know about it.
All right. So here's what I know about it and my thoughts. So I know he's brought out a book,
Okay.
and he's a very smart dude, by the way. Very smart dude. Very, you can tell by his promos. Very intellectually savvy, right? So he had his book coming out, which he knew about for a long time when it was coming out, and he fully intends on doing a book tour, which is what he's off doing right now.
Good for him.
In my opinion. Hmm?
I said good for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
awesome.
So the story is his contract ran out. They offered him a new contract, not Scarlett. He asked, well, how'd you come up with this figure in the first place? They couldn't answer it. Went to bed, came back the next day. They gave him 24 hours, came back to them the next day and said, hey, I'd like to know where you're getting the evaluation of my contract from. And they wouldn't answer it. So he said, oh, done.
Mhm.
That's the story that we're getting.
And
I don't believe it for a second.
Scarlett wasn't included in that. Okay.
Correct.
So
Correct.
and that's what WWE came out and said, or who came out and said that?
Well, that's what Karrion Kross came out and said.
Okay.
WWE won't talk about contract negotiations.
Gotcha.
So here's my thoughts. Again, he knew the book tour was coming up, as did WWE. He's signed or has on his desk a contract ready to be signed. Maybe he doesn't want to sign it yet until he's done with his book tour, because he doesn't want anybody else to catch wind of it, because his return is going to be, something big. So whether the contract's signed or not, the plan, in my opinion, is go do your book tour. Scarlett's not getting re-signed because they're going to go make babies, right?
I guess. All right.
They're going to start a family,
Yeah.
right? So she's not coming back anyway. That's part of the plan. This is a good time for them to, have that downtime to be able to figure that out. And once the book tour's over, holy shit, here comes fucking Karrion Kross
At the Rumble.
and that's too long. That's too long. People forget about him. I would say Survivor Series. He could be that bonus person for the team going against
The Empire.
the Empire or the Vision,
The
the Visionary Empire.
Yeah, I don't like the Vision. I will call it the Empire. That's what Paul Heyman
So
called
you
it.
have
That's what I'm calling
you have
it.
Rollins, Punk, and LA Knight, and Jey Uso gets jumped the week before, thankfully,
Please.
and gets taken out, or he's just too busy doing his
Yeah.
facial expressions where he just all of a sudden gets a cramp and he can't compete.
Yeah, dude.
Just stop. Then, well, who are we going to get? Who's our fourth man? It's kind of like, the whole NWO thing.
Yeah, it'll be Scarlett.
And it's Scarlett because Karrion's back home pregnant. And there you go. No, but it'll be Karrion Kross, and it's like, holy shit.
That would be dope.
And he's right there in the main event mix.
Interesting. I mean, why
You're
not?
welcome, WWE. I mean, do I have to keep competing?
He was making them money. I mean,
Right.
so it's just like it's just a little weird to just drop somebody
No.
like that.
Well, the thing is, if you come up with a game plan like the one I just gave you, I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm just saying, like, if you're making money and you're in the middle of a storyline and you go away, it's like, what just happened? But he was done with Sami Zayn and all that shit. And how do we separate you now from that shit where you were trying to get AJ and then you were trying to get Sami Zayn, and you're bigger than that because you're selling tons of merchandise. So how do we separate you from this kind of like goofy, come to the bad side kind of guy, onto a more serious kind of holy shit kind of guy?
Yeah.
Well, get you off TV for a month or two. And I guarantee you could bring him back in a Survivor Series type match. Holy shit.
That would be dope. That would be dope. Because
dope.
I liked Karrion in the ring. I thought he was great.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. Tremendous.
Made
Tremendous on the mic too. I mean, he reminds me a lot of like a Jake the Snake Roberts kind of guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Jake was so good on the mic. I couldn't stand him wrestling. I thought he was one of the worst wrestlers out there. Even his body, how he looked and all that. But on the mic, he was so freaking good. And that's who he reminds me of.
Okay.
But he's also got the talent in the ring, and he looks great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would do with Mr. Cross, Chris
Yeah.
Cross.
I mean, that sounds great. I mean, it's just surprising to me that nobody had any backlash as much as they had with our truth being released.
Your segues are very good. I like this.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah,
All right,
I mean, our truth's back now.
Yes. Did
So-
you see that?
I did. I saw that he has returned, but I have not seen the backstage bit of him and Cena
Oh, yeah.
that
Well, it's just
everybody's talking
basically,
about.
after Cena has done the whole, my bad. Hey,
Yeah.
that never happened. I'm back. Let's pretend I was always this good guy. Truth approaches him backstage and says, "Hey, if you're back, I'm back," kind of thing. So our truth is back to being our truth, and the wrong killings kind of this truth will set you free has been freed, and we are back with our truth. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm listening. I'm here.
So
I'm here.
yeah, so we're back with our truth. The funny, happy-go-lucky, awesome dude that the fans wanted to see in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening. Go ahead. What's up?
Hey, glad you're here. You
What's
want to talk about our truth?
what's the deal? What's the deal? I'm listening.
All right. So what else we got? Hey, by the way, you watched Raw, right?
I'm all caught up on Raw.
Okay. Here's my pet peeve of the week or the month. Holy shit. Look, Maxine Dupree's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. She, she sold really well in this match with Becky Lynch. But
Uh-huh.
good God, don't ever let her throw a punch or a kick ever again until she goes back to fucking school and learns how to land this shit.
Jesus.
I don't know if it was it wasn't the camera angle. I thought it was at first. But then just looking at how far away her punches were from Becky and her kicks when she got her in the corner. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was her time to shine. But
You can't have that. I mean, you can't put that on TV, you know? So with her and Lyra Valkyria back to NXT, and let's get them some polishing going, because that was just, oh my God.
yeah. Yeah, I mean just Lyra in general, I'm just so over it. Like, get her out of there. I can't.
But she wasn't on Raw this week, I don't think, right?
She wasn't on Raw this past week, but she was on the week after SummerSlam, maybe, or
Right. And that
vice
was a titty
versa.
match. That's when she had that match.
What?
Yeah. She had that match the week out, the Monday after SummerSlam, right?
Oh, did she? Let me see.
Or was it a promo with Becky?
No, I noticed that she had a um does not she had a little promo backstage with um Bailey where they were like where Bailey was trying to apologize or whatever, and then like Lyra was like, I don't care, like just stay out of my life, and then like that was it. I don't remember her being in a
Yeah.
match. Um
I think well, didn't Bailey have a match and she got involved? I forget what it was over a week ago. But
yeah,
she was not on Raw this week, which is a good sign. Um, but
agreed.
they stuck Maxine in there, and that was even worse. But at least better to look at. But,
I
I mean, I don't
I
know.
I don't like Becky Lynch at all right at the moment. I think her gimmick is kind of just not working for me. Just it's just kind
Yeah.
of like, what are we doing here? Like, your promos aren't that great. I don't know. Like, there's no story to be had with her. Maybe just because I don't know, she's not really great as a heel, but I don't see her as a face. Like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. Uh,
For me, her heel work is very like, I'm gonna be a bad person. It's very over dramatic, and
yes.
it's cartoonish, and it her her in-ring work becomes cartoonish too, like very over dramatic, to where it's like, okay, that's just like doing more harm than doing good. I don't know. To me, that's just how it comes across, and not a fan of it. And there's some great female talent in there, and I just think that they gotta go in a different direction here, and somebody should be pulling these people aside. And it's not just, I'm not just saying the women. I mean, there's always some guys too, but we're talking about Becky Lynch.
The
But
man.
they got to be pulling they got to be pulling these people aside backstage and say, hey, look, you got to work on this. You got to change this up. You got to tighten this up. I mean, like Maxine Dupree, if Vince was still there and that happened and she went backstage, Vince would have an agent on her right away, letting her know, you can't fucking do that shit. That was some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And up until that point, I mean, you were selling great.
Yeah.
I mean, your moves were meh, doing the whole cartwheel thing, and it's like, come on, really, you know. But doesn't matter if you work a match like that, and then you get into the corner and you have all those punches and kicks that look absolutely atrocious. You've just killed everything,
Yep.
and it took me out of the whole match, and just totally. I mean, maybe because I'm too into it as far as being involved in the business and all that. It bothers me more. I don't know, but I definitely. Oh my god, it drove me insane. And but like I was saying, if we had, if everything wasn't PC the way it is now, and all these crowd are more friends than they are, talent and wanting to make the product better, and instead of having a like little click backstage where everybody's all ha ha ha, we're gonna work together, yay, and it's like fucking coffee at Starbucks. Um, you know, the matches would be much better.
Yeah.
I mean, even Undertaker had said it recently. Um, he was backstage, and I mean, he's backstage quite often, but instead of these kids watching the monitor, well, look, even when I was there, right, where you see the backstage segment and the interviewers interviewing somebody, and there's a TV there. Once we record those, the show is shown live on, and you would have the locker room in chairs, all sitting around just watching the show.
That's awesome.
And then if it's their time to get going, they go to Gorilla and get ready for their match or their promo, whatever it is. And or if we need them, we know where they are, TV, so we can all go, hey, Scotty, hey, Edge, we need you for, let's go, or a pre-tape or something. But now they're all in the fucking locker room playing video games, not even watching the show. And first of all, you're not learning anything, because you can learn so much by watching everybody else,
Yeah.
and that goes for any industry, any sport that you're in. But this is part of the problem: is a lot of these guys don't take it that serious, to where you got to be snug when you're out there. You got to learn how to get those in, and making contact and making it look real, and not exposing the business. And the only way to do that, if you're not really that good, is to keep watching how everybody else does it
Yeah.
and learn from them, learn from the best. I mean, you would have guys that wouldn't leave till, I mean, they're first on the show on Raw back in the day. 2 hours later, they're still sitting there watching until the main event's over, and then they're leaving. Guys would get heated to left before the main event. You
Really?
know? Oh, absolutely. Oh, did you hear this guy left before the main event? Didn't want to stay around and watch? That's bullshit.
Yeah.
You you watch everybody else. This show is a team effort. You know, you have X amount of matches, pre-tapes, backstage segments. They all combine to make one show that is highly entertaining. Some parts aren't as good as others. That's okay. Some performers aren't as good as others. That's okay. But at the end of the day, people don't go, "Hey, did you watch Seth Rollins last week? Did you watch uh, CM Punk last week?" Yes, they'll talk about those people. They'll talk about them as part of the show. But it's, "Hey, did you watch Raw last week? Hey, did you watch SmackDown last week?"
Mm-hmm.
It's the entire show,
Yeah.
and you're a small part of that, and you can be easily replaced, as we've seen with many talents over the years. Um, but if you want to be a mainstay, if you want to get better, if you want to show that there's camaraderie there and help others around you as well, you got to be sitting there and watching the show backstage. Your buddy comes back. Hey, let's talk about your match. I saw what you did this, and then the crowd did that. Because a lot of times, guys in the matches, they'll come back, and even when I was there, they'd ask me, and I would say, "Hey, I gotta ask, I'm a
Yeah.
fucking writer. I have no business telling Test at the time how good or how bad his match was. I'm a 24-year-old punk writer. Go talk to one of the agents, somebody who has a lot of experience in this industry. But guys would come back because you're a writer. They want to ask you because they want your input. But they'd say, "What do you think of my match?" And it's like, I'm not going to be that guy. So go ask him. But they go up to their friends. They ask their friends, and they ask the people who are watching, "Hey, what do you think of that? Do you think that worked?"
Thought it was dog
And
shit.
that's okay. If one of their buddies goes, "Hey man, that
Yeah.
was dog shit. You got to fucking do this. You got to do that." And Taker used to be one of those guys who would pull. He'd be watching. He'd be in Gorilla. He may not be back with all the crew, all the rest of the talent sitting around. Sometimes he would be, but some of the time he'd be in Gorilla. Kane would be there. Guys like that, Triple H, and they would pull guys aside and tell them, "Hey, try this instead next time," and that would help make guys better. So the only way for this next generation to be, consistent and to grow and to get in tune with whoever else their audience is trying to appeal to is for them to give each other this kind of, criticism, constructive criticism, and to be on each other's side that way instead of being on each other. Hey, I got this controller. What controller you got? It's like, no, you guys aren't there to be, do that outside. That shouldn't be allowed, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
they should kick that shit out of there. I mean, you used to have guys playing cards and dominoes backstage. That was one thing, you know, because it was a couple of guys, and there were guys who were veterans who earned that right. It wasn't just these young kids who are making these mistakes in the ring, who aren't drawing big crowds, who aren't top selling for merchandise. You gotta, in my opinion, you gotta earn that right. And I think they should ban any kind of video games backstage. If you want to play them, cutoff time is 2 p.m. After that, all goes away, and you get ready for the show, or whatever, 4 p.m. whatever, and they don't come back out till the show's over, or you go back to your hotel. You know, and if that pisses people off, so be it. Then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
We're trying to build a brand here. We're trying to keep this being consistent. You want to make a happy workplace, of course, but if you have guys in the ring who are making mistakes, aren't getting over the way they should be getting over, are not putting as much time into their character development as a video game while at the arena, you got problems. And that goes for any promotion, not just WWE. I mean, in my opinion, yes, you want a happy environment, but not at the expense of your product. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's my
like
tangent for it.
you got to wrestle. You can't play video games. You're not getting paid to play video games. You're getting paid to wrestle. Getting paid
Right.
to advertise this brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. But
So anyway,
but yeah,
that's where a lot of these mistakes come
the
from.
future is now, old man. That's what I gotta say. um,
Yes, get off my lawn. Okay.
but no. I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. You gotta have people who respect the place they're working, um,
Yeah.
especially at that capacity of what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about Becky Lynch and her match with Maxine Dupree and kind of your opinions on that. What did you think of her match at SummerSlam?
Becky's match?
Yes. If you can remember.
Um,
If you can't remember,
who
then
was it against?
that means it wasn't that great.
Yeah. Who was it against again?
It was Lyra and
Oh, Unveiled.
it was just
Yeah.
Lyra. It was just Lyra. Yeah. Right? Well,
Did they Bailey get involved?
yeah, Bailey got involved.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It was not memorable. I mean, there was a couple of matches that were good and decent. The main events were fucking killer.
Yes.
The Punk Gunther and Cena, uh, Rhodes. But other than that, I mean, okay.
Yeah, I want the belt to get off of Becky. I don't think, she's not doing anything with it. Like the belt's not it's not doing anything for her and she's not doing anything for it,
Can I tell you one thing I do like these past few weeks? And it's fucking hilarious in my opinion.
Yeah, what's up?
Bronson Reed stealing Roman Reigns' shoes.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. It's such a
Yeah,
stupid thing,
I
you
agree.
know? And and then they have the Shula Fala,
The Shula Fala. And it keeps building, it
right?
looks like.
Yeah. And the Tribal Thief.
Yes.
So, dude, that's how you get someone over.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's the simplest, stupidest shit sometimes. It's like, can you imagine as a creative? Hey, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna steal his shoes and then put them around your neck. It's like, what? And they get it over.
Yeah.
That's magic, dude. It's magic. So kudos to WWE creative and Bronson Reed on that because he's doing a good job
And
getting that
see,
over.
that's why I think it's gonna stick around for a while. The vision or the empire. I think it's sticking around for a while because of I don't know. I think they do so much for Raw right now. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, I thought it was my eyes. I don't have my glasses on.
There we go.
There we go.
But I don't know. I like they make it a lot more entertaining. Like, what are they gonna do next? Kind of thing, Like, I don't know. But I mean, and then to play devil's advocate against that, at the end of each episode of Raw, it's just kind of like it just turns into kids playing with their action figures. Just like, all right, now this guy's showing up, and then they're gonna attack this guy. Now this guy's showing up, and the week after SummerSlam, it was Roman Reigns coming out at the end, and with LA Knight and Punk, and then this past week on Raw, it was Jey Uso coming out with LA Knight and Punk, and it's just kind of like, are we doing anything with this, guys? Like, I would hope that they would attack other people within the WWE roster as well or something. But
Right.
nonetheless, I'm still enjoying it. I think it's still a great gimmick to have with that group of guys, and I think especially having Paul Heyman part of it really elevates it to a level that it wouldn't be at if they didn't have Paul Heyman. Because it would just be Seth Rollins on the mic all the time, and that gets old really
Right.
fast.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. But I'd like to see whoever Bronson Reed is going to go up against next after this. That guy just can't find his shoes, and it's like, oh shit.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yeah.
know,
He can't just keep
I don't
stealing
know.
from Roman Reigns. He's got to be other
Nah,
people.
he's going to run out of shoes eventually.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
Cinderella, and Al Bundy. That's a big one. But I'll tell you what, I got some ideas for some matches for the Clash in Paris.
Clash in Paris. All right, let's put him in before WWE books him.
Well, they're going to book him now. So, okay, Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, maybe. I think actually Cody should pick somebody. You know, I think I don't know. I'm trying to think of who we could pick, but I'm all thinking who can he pick, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who do you go? Does it have to be Drew? Of course, it looks like it's going to be, but I just don't want Drew to have another loss. It just doesn't help him at all. Um, Dom, Dirty Dom, and AJ Styles again, I think would be a great match for them over there.
Oh yeah, I mean, before we continue, we got to talk about Dirty Dom. I mean, holy crap! That match at SummerSlam, amazing, and then
Right.
the rematch at Raw, amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's killing it. He's killing it. There was an AI picture that's been floating around. I don't know if you saw it with what if Eddie Guerrero was still alive, and it's got Eddie Guerrero, old man Eddie, and then behind him's Dominic with the belt. I don't know. I just thought it was, it is AI, but at the end of the day, it looked pretty cool. So I mean,
I bet.
you
I bet.
know, and I don't
Yeah. I mean,
know. I feel like Eddie would have been proud. Eddie would be proud of
yeah.
Dominic.
Yeah. His illegitimate son.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can go a lucha match if you wanted to with that. But I think him and AJ one more time in Europe would be phenomenal. Um, based off of what I've seen with Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree, I think maybe Becky and Natalia go at it.
You don't think
Uh,
Nikki Bella? They teased it a little bit. Nikki
uh,
Bella.
oh yeah, maybe that's what it was. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right. You're probably right. So maybe Becky and Natalia this
Oh,
coming
I
week.
hope they put the belt on Nikki Bella. I don't think they're going to, but I hope they do have
Yeah,
her last little title run because I'm sure she's gonna retire as well
yeah,
at some point. Fitting. The year she returns is the last year John Cena is wrestling.
yeah, yeah. No, they did have that promo and everything, and then
Yes, with
uh,
Becky and her. Yeah,
yeah, and she made mention of
John Cena.
how can't see him.
Just low hanging
Um,
fruit. I mean, I don't know. I thought that
yeah,
was
but it was
like,
good though. I mean,
it was
it
good.
popped.
It was good.
But you're right. I totally forgot about that. So yeah, it'd be Becky and
Nikki
Nikki
Bella.
at Clash in Paris. But so then I think this coming week it's Becky and Natalia, and I think maybe Nikki comes out to make a save at the end. Becky's beating the shit out of Natalia and Maxine Dupree. Um, gosh, I mean, who's Tiffy gonna go against? I don't know. Does she go against anybody?
Oh, I mean, who is she feuding with on SmackDown?
I, I don't even know at this point.
It's great.
Um, yeah, but one match I would like to see, and I think this would be really good for all involved, is Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Roxanne, and Raquel against Asuka, Kairi Sane, and the War Raiders.
War Raiders. So those are the Viking dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So you got your
little wild card
mi-
pick.
little mixed tag.
I
You get
like it
all
though.
those. Yeah, because here's the thing. It puts all the Judgment Day together except for Dom, right? Which is what you want. You want Dom to be like, hey, I wasn't with them when Liv comes back, right? But all three of them, Raquel, JD, and Finn, are in a match with Roxanne where Liv would have been, right? So
Yeah,
you kind of Liv's kind of like, oh, what the hell? She's taking my spot, huh? And that gives the War Raiders, a match against the tag champs, but not for the tag titles because it's a 8-man tag, and it gives Asuka and Kyrie something to do, um, which looks like they might be turning heel, or maybe based on what happened on Raw, where Asuka and Kyrie cost Io the match.
that's true.
Um, so you have a lot going on there. Does Io Sky come down and accidentally cost them that match and gives the
Ooh,
Judgment Day a win?
yeah,
You know, so we're furthering a bunch of storylines in one match right there.
yeah. Because Io did tell him, "Don't come out. I don't need you guys. I'm okay."
Right.
And they came out
Right.
either way. They didn't listen to her.
And then she goes all the way to France just to get her revenge,
Yeah,
but accidentally, on purposely.
accidentally on
Um,
purposely. She gets the
yeah,
revenge.
I like those. But it gives the War Raiders another, tag team kind of situation that can further lead to another tag match for titles. And like I said, builds also then Asuka Kyrie with Io for somebody turning, and also gives the Judgment Day more issues with Liv. So you got a lot going on there. I think you could do in one
Yeah,
match.
yeah. But what about AJ Styles? It's just him and Dominic for a rematch or something, or you don't think they're gonna do something with him and Dominic in the Judgment Day? Or you think they're just gonna keep it separate?
Yeah, I think you kind of keep that separate, right? I mean, I don't know if you want to muddy that water because I mean AJ was with Asuka and Kyrie last week. I mean that was a whole match. But again, that was more of an issue with Dom than anything, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you can still keep that separate.
Do you think we'll see AJ Styles with the Intercontinental? That's the one that Dom has, right? Intercontinental.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to continue, if they're going to give him another match, I'd say, yeah,
Damn. I don't know. I like Dom having the belt. I want
I
him
do too.
I want him to keep the belt. I don't
I do
know.
too. But if you're going to have that match and AJ's going to lose again, it's kind of like, oh, you know, that's if you're going to have the match.
Yeah, they have. I
Um,
think they have to have him win if they have that match. But I just don't see who you would put up against Dom other than AJ at the moment
yeah, yeah.
because we don't Clash in
I
Paris
mean,
isn't until the end of the month, 31st, I think, of August.
yeah, it's just over 2 weeks away.
Yeah, so I don't know.
August 31st, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Damn, that's early.
Wow, they're 9 hours ahead.
Yeah,
So
yeah, interesting.
Paris de la Fence Arena.
I mean, when do you think AJ's gonna retire? Like, what? How soon? Or how like that timer's got to be ticking down, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I see him going back to TNA for maybe his final run. I don't
Okay.
know. He was TNA world champ. He was a mainstay in TNA for a long time before he and he really helped build TNA. He's one of those guys that really helped get TNA on the radar and the map out there. So I don't know. And then TNA is apparently moving to they're going to compete with AEW. Um, and that's all by design. Um,
I think they're gonna beat
TNA will win that.
AEW.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm sorry, but I mean, as much as I love the guys on the roster in AEW, and I want to see them succeed, they've got some money behind them. They've got great production. It looks, I mean, looks great on TV as far as the production goes, but the creative is just, it's bad. It's bad, and it doesn't do the talent any justice at all, in my opinion. And a lot of guys are getting wasted there. Not drunk or just being wasted.
Unfortunate,
Um,
because they're not getting wasted.
uh, but I'm telling you, man. I mean, shit. I've wrote out so many different scenarios when I had watched AEW religiously for about a month, and that was rough. Um,
I mean,
and I
that's where
wrote
you got
out
all
different.
the white hairs from.
Yeah, I'm only 23, and this all happened in the space of a month. No, but I wrote out some good stuff and try to get in touch with Tony. Like John said, I'd love to help creatively. This is a big thing for not just one person. It's for you need a team to right this ship. Even WWE is successful there. They have a team of I don't know 8 people. I don't know what it is these days. But I mean, I don't even know how many people AEW have on creative. But
Mm.
man, they got to change their model. They really do. They got to step away from the shock and awe of nails into somebody's back and that kind of stuff and just blood everywhere and it doesn't work. It's that niche audience that ECW had, which was fine for, small ratings and small coverage. But if you're looking to go national and international and have big numbers and have longevity, household names on your roster, that's not it, my man.
You got to throw people around the ring. You can't just throw them on a bunch of thumbtacks or a bunch of
But you
nails.
got to you got to throw them with psychology. It's got to mean something.
Yeah.
It can't be just flippity flip, bounce, bounce, back up. Let's do another set of moves. They like to call them these sets of moves, and then look at each other and go, "Ha!" and then do it. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? This is not wrestling. This is, you know, indie type shit that you know certain journalists love to rate and think it's the greatest thing ever because it's in their
It's
simple little head. That's what
because they think
wrestling
it's
should
so
be.
far from the norm that they think it's unique. But it's like,
Yeah,
nah,
I know.
it's just shit. It's just
Yeah,
dog shit.
it really is. And you have this loud audience, which is a small audience, but they're very loud, so it seems like it's way more that like it. And they're little whiny, sensitive brats who, when you knock the product of AEW, they're very tribal. They take that personally and they start calling you names. And I've seen it. I don't go on social media and knock AEW, but I've seen people do it and how upset they get, and then they get all vicious in their responses. And oh my god, it's like
That's
you've
awesome.
insulted their mother or something.
I got to get on social
And
media and read those. That
god, it's insane. Um, yeah. So if you criticize a product, they throw a tantrum, and it's amazing. But AEW definitely has to change creatively. Um, what they have right now is just there's talent there that's just not being used right. There's talent there that's not getting the push that they should have, or not, at least not being pushed in the avenue that would suit them better to get more out of them. There's certain talent and individuals where you have to see them and you go, I'll put you in this character or I'll put you in this storyline. Well, that doesn't fit that mold.
yeah.
So you're not gonna get the proper result out of it.
Is that why Cody left?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know it's out there. I just have never really listened to it or anything like that. But I believe it's creatively, absolutely, it was a big
Okay.
issue for him.
But it's interesting to see
You
that
know,
his brother still stayed.
well, and I'm not knocking him because he's still a good talent for his age and everything like that. I mean, he's out now. He's getting surgery, but he's one of those guys. He's going to stay there because he's not going to get a job at WWE. And if he did, I don't know what it would be. Maybe
Mm.
backstage producer. I don't know. And I think he'd be a great backstage producer, but I still think he wants to wrestle. He's not going to get that with WWE.
Why? It's just because
Maybe
they
one
know
last.
they know he's past his prime or something, or
I just don't. I think he's so married to the Goldust character that if he came back as Dustin Rhodes or Dustin Runnels, however you want to call him, the WWE fan base would be like, "No, we want to see Goldust. If you're going to be here, you got to be Goldust."
mm,
And I don't think they want to do that anymore. And a watered down Goldust is, you know, they tried to do Dustin Rhodes after that in WWE, and it nobody gave a shit.
mm-hmm.
I mean, he was when he first came into WWE with Dusty back in the early days. Nobody really gave a shit about him then either. It was the Goldust character that they cared about.
That's interesting.
Now over at AEW, he's kind of got the same look in a way where he's face paint and the same kind of material on his ring gear, but it's not the character. It's not. So he's just Dustin Rhodes, and I mean he's over with a small crowd. But you want to put him on a WWE stage, it's not going to work because that again AEW crowd is small.
Mm-hmm.
The fan base is small, so it's easier to get somebody over.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and especially a legend like that. So he's kind of fresh with them, even though he's been there, 5, 6, 8 years at this point. But again, you bring somebody who was the only reason they were over in WWE character back to WWE as something that was never over anywhere else, it's gonna flop. So
Yeah.
he could come back for one last run with Cody, maybe, but that will be it. But I do think that he will be a great backstage producer. Him and Cody, they learned from their dad, and their dad has a great wrestling mind. Their dad is the one that really helped build to what it is today, before he passed away. So,
Yeah.
why not bring him in and be a producer? But maybe he'll stay with AEW and be, they're offering tons of money for nothing,
Yeah. That's crazy though. That's crazy,
Yeah.
Just the psychology of fans, that you have to always be worried about, to
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I don't give a shit.
well,
They're
I'm
little
on
credit.
as, a writer in WWE, you kind of have to just
Oh yeah,
be worried about that kind of thing. Um,
yeah.
it's
But
interesting.
and that's the thing. I mean, they kind of need to not be though. That's the thing. It's just kind of like, hey, this is the product, like it or don't. I mean,
Y-
we're obviously going to look at the ratings and see which way, is successful, but we're not going to give you everything that you
Yeah,
because then,
go ahead.
no, because then when you don't get what you want, then you're going to, cause even more of a ruckus. So you can't,
Yeah.
you can't, you can't submit to them like that. You can't, they did it with R-Truth. Look what happened. Okay, they did it with, other guys that are. I like what they're doing with Karrion Cross. Now he's gone. You can want them all you want. He's gone. He's not really.
Yeah.
But when he comes back, he's got to be this anti-establishment guy.
When you were working with them, was there ever an instance where they were just kind of like, you gotta write this thing in this certain way, like you can't, like, even though you were like, hey, like it's just not gonna work, like if I do it that way, it's just not gonna work, like it's not as entertaining as the way I want to do it. Like, did you ever, you know, bash heads in that
Like a
sort
promo.
sort of way? Promo, storyline, feud, whatever you want to call it, yeah,
Um,
whatever it
I mean,
was.
yeah. I wrote some promos before. For like Taker, just bullet points, and he'd go out there and he'd hit all the bullet points. It's like, oh, thank goodness. That's a good night. You know.
Yeah.
Um, but of course, they get approved beforehand. Like, here's Steph. Here's what I wrote for Taker. Oh, that looks good. Give it to him. But then at the same time, there was one night where I had maybe 5 pre-tapes on a SmackDown, and maybe not, maybe 4 or 5. I forget what it was. But hey, Steph, here's what I wrote. Looks good. Great. Let's go. Shoot them all. So I went shoot it with the talent. And the production meeting after the show, Vince would go down because he just talked to Kevin Dunn, who was a producer at the time. And Kevin
Yeah.
Dunn talked to his people at the office who were watching the show, and they give their feedback, which we would all say, "Who the fuck are these people?" Um, but Vince would go down and he's like, "Who wrote this one?" That was me. That was the shits. Like, what the fuck? Okay, my bad. All right. Who wrote
Okay.
this one?
Uh,
I did. Ah, it fucking sucked too. I'm like, fuck. All right, I'm 0 for 2 right now. Even though it got the blessing of Steph and everybody else thought they were good. Here's the chief.
yeah.
What about this one here with Rikishi? Oh, that was me too. Ah, it fucking sucked too. I was like, fuck. You know? It's like, holy shit. And then I go to Steph, like, hey, Steph, what the fuck? She's like, I don't know. I thought they were great. Okay, fuck it.
Wow.
But I
So
mean,
would you have to
yeah.
rewrite it, or like what's the
Well,
deal
they're
with
already
that?
shot. So for SmackDown, only once ever did I, for one of my promos, backstage promos, have to re-record because we recorded on Tuesday and it airs on Friday back
Hmm.
then. So there was one with gosh, I think it was Mang Haku or Rikishi, or maybe it was both of them. I forget what it was. I know no, it was Rikishi was one of them. One of the people involved in it, and we had to reshoot it. Vince didn't like it, and so we reshot it, and it was almost the same as what we recorded earlier,
Okay.
pretty much. I mean, and he's like, "That's better." Like, okay.
All right.
I mean, I could ask you, how's it better? But you're not gonna. I wasn't gonna get an answer, so it's just like, okay, whatever,
Wow. Interesting.
you
Okay.
know. That's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, uh,
You still get
that's fine.
paid.
I still get paid, and it's his show, and you can't get upset. You can't take it personally. I mean, you'd be at the time you'd be kind of like, what the fuck? But then you kind of like, for me anyway, I'd be like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do better next time. You know,
Yeah. Interesting.
and
That's
that's the
very
thing. A lot of
interesting.
people who leave that company, they just get so fucking butthurt, and they get so, you know, everything was great when they were there, but now that they're fired or they left and they don't have a way back, it's fuck them and WWE. So Vince was this and Bruce was that, and it's like,
Wow.
really, really. I
Wow.
mean,
Interesting.
you work there. I mean, just because you got fired, no, you know. So I don't
Yeah.
know, but anyway, I didn't have to. I mean, at that time, I would just have to get stuff approved by staff or by maybe Brian Gewirtz if Steph wasn't around. Brian was the head writer, and that was it.
Interesting. Interesting. Was there ever, I know this is like completely off topic right now, but
That's okay.
was there ever like, because you're in the writers' room, right? Was there ever a character where you're just like, man, I want to write that storyline, or I want to be part of that, but then like you just couldn't, or was it like how would that work?
So in the writers' room, we all just bash brains and come up with stuff, and you could come up with, hey, so Vince wants to do Taker and Austin, and how do we get there? Okay, well, you say, well, we do this with Austin. He comes to the ring and starts cutting a promo, and Taker interrupts him. Well, why does he interrupt him? And then he says, well, because this, and then okay, well, let's work with that. And then somebody else add to it, and you build it from there, and it's all these different ideas put together, and you get something big out of it.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, there was guys that I would want to put over, but some people didn't. Um, like I used to get shit. I used to get shit all the time because I was high on Billy Gunn. I was high on Jerry Lynn. And looking back, maybe I shouldn't have been as forceful with it and always bringing them up. But I thought Jerry had a lot to offer, and not the light heavyweights, and he was from ECW. I knew he didn't have much time left on his career, so I wanted to do stuff with him, and you know, but he was a hell of a talent. Not very good on the mic, but like I said, give him a manager, and he could have been something on the lower end of the card. Um, Loved working with Scotty Too Hottie, and you know, um, Too Cool, Brian Christopher as well. So I was kind of really looking at the guys who were kind of undercard guys, and trying to let's give them something else to do.
Okay.
Let's give them something more. Um, you know, and Billy Gunn, he was a part of DX, and at that point, he wasn't really doing much, but I thought that he could have had a good run as a top guy, you know. Um, but it wasn't to be. One thing that Vince Russo gets a lot of shit for, which I don't understand, is he used to have a storyline for everybody. If you go back to the Attitude Era, there was something for everybody. There wasn't a match for no reason on that show. Like today, you have a lot of matches and there's a storyline for everybody, sure. But it's a select amount of talent. Where back in WWE, there was so much going on at one time. There was a backstage promo, boom, straight to another storyline in the ring, boom, a different backstage promo, another storyline, and then over here something else going. It's like crazy. It was
Yeah,
like people
almost
call it
something for
crash TV.
everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's what I wanted to do too, but not obviously in the same way as Russo. But it's okay. That's that's how it goes, and they knew better than I did. Um, so I wasn't going to argue. But
yeah.
they were right, and then as far as what they were saying no to, hey, 100%.
Yeah, see, I'm only asking these questions just so I can get more of a understanding of like how you think about, these things you're picking out matches here and there, and I don't know. I feel like the prediction of Kabuki Warriors, War Raiders, Judgment Day was very wild card move that like maybe you're seeing something that I'm not seeing. Then I just kind of wanted to ask questions about that
Gotcha.
sort of thing. Um, but yeah,
Well,
it's just
I
it's
mean,
interesting. It's interesting to just learn about all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I mean, for me anyway, how I got there with that was basically you have a card that needs matches, number one.
yeah,
Um, okay, you have your tag champs, and you have a storyline where they're all involved, like with Liv, and she's got to be coming back soon, I'm sure. Um, you could have a tag match, Finn and JD against War Raiders. Seen it. It doesn't really, it's not huge.
yeah,
And in all honesty, you could put subpar matches out there. It's going to draw overseas because they never get to see WWE that much, and it'll get you huge pops. But if you put a little something into it in the next week to build this up, 8-man tag, holy shit, mixed tag, and you put all the elements in there of tag titles, Io Sky, Liv Morgan. I mean, all those elements make this way more interesting than it looks on paper. Um, that's for me. That was just where I was got that from. You know,
okay, okay, interesting.
yeah. It's not like I wouldn't just take tag teams and here throw them together and have a match. But
Yeah,
why?
yeah, yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Why? And what comes out of it? Where do you go after? And that's always the thing you got to look for too. Is okay, have the match, but then what?
yeah,
You know. So
yeah. Interesting, interesting. Because like well, if you add the War Raiders and the Kabuki Warriors, like where would they go after the fact? Are you just doing it so you could have maybe just uh what's the word? I guess just draw the fans into those teams now, or like maybe get some more eyes on them, and hopefully elevate them to be something that the fans are going to cheer for, like you know right when they enter, uh like what's because you said that you always got to have it's always got to mean something, so at that point, like where do they go from there? you know
yeah, well, I would set it up with you know, Roxanne and Raquel having a match against Asuka and Kairi Sane on Raw, and Finn and JD are ringside, and they're interfering. Obviously, they can't touch the women, right? But they're interfering by distracting the referee or whatever it is. Well, here come the War Raiders down, and they chase them off. You know,
okay, yeah,
and the match is still going on in the ring, and then backstage in a little box, as the match is down here, little box up here, and you have the four of those guys going at it backstage. Holy shit, this is crazy. And then, you know, the Kabuki Warriors come up to the War Raiders. Thank you so much for having our backs. Appreciate that kind of thing. And then here come Roxanne and Raquel and Finn and JD. Screw you guys, blah, 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 blah. And then, hey, you guys, knock this shit off. You guys want to go at it? Here's a, flight to Paris. See you guys there.
That would be great. I think that's
You know?
that's perfect.
And
I would
then
like that.
and then you can put the caveat in there for the War Raiders. And if you guys win, you guys get a title shot the next Monday. It's like, oh shit, okay, now we gotta fucking win this match for sure. And the same thing goes for Asuka and Kyrie. You guys win that match. The four of you guys win this match, both teams get title shots.
That'd be great. That'd be crazy.
And then Io could come out and maybe she costs them the match. So both teams don't get title shots. And
Wow. And then we have a handicap where it's Kabuki Warriors, War Raiders versus Io Sky.
Yep. And they kill her.
Just in the ring. Just in the middle of the ring. That's it.
But I mean, you could have Finn, JD, Roxanne, and Raquel and Io Sky against War Raiders, Asuka, Kyrie, and Liv Morgan.
Ooh.
But I don't know if that's a good enough way to bring Liv back. I don't know if that's strong enough,
Yeah. I don't know.
But
like, how would you bring Liv back at this point? I mean, I feel like she would have to interrupt with the mat, or let's say we do the title shot idea. You guys win, you get title shots. Each team gets a title shot. You have Liv come down, cost Judgment Day the match. Now they have to do, the match on Raw for the titles. And then it's like, well, is Liv going to come out and cost them those matches, or like, what's the deal there? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
you could have Io out there. Everybody thinking Io's going to interfere, but it's all of a sudden it's Liv out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, at this point, bring Liv back. I don't know if it's with Dom or if it's with Roxanne and Raquel. I don't know.
Yeah. See, I was thinking that they bring her back. Somehow they got to kick Raquel out, and then it's Roxanne and Liv, because like everybody knows that Roxanne's kind of like the one that was added in after Liv. That's like, whatever. She's not really like part of the Judgment Day, but she's part of the Judgment Day, and I feel like it's too obvious to have her get kicked out if Liv comes back. So that's why you got to have Raquel and Liv and Roxanne team up, and I don't know.
I think Liv is face when she comes back. I don't think she joins the Judgment Day. I think she
Really?
goes against them. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Especially with the way Finn's been. Finn's always trying to like, haha. I'm glad she's hurt.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But maybe there's a way. That Roxanne and Raquel jump Rhea, and for whatever reason, there's something that I mean, you can get creative and get there, but they jump Rhea, and it looks like Rhea's going to tag with somebody else, and that person gets jumped as well, and now she can't go, so that's Rhea. Well, who are you going to get? And then Rhea shows up, and it's like, oh, I got somebody. Here we go.
It's Liv Morgan. That'd be dope.
And the two jilted lovers of Dom. And it's a Dom on a pole match. And yeah, you can have Liv and Rhea together would be wow.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be amazing, actually. I would really like that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, there's you got options there, but she's got to be involved with the Judgment Day, and maybe she comes back pretending to still be a part of the Judgment Day.
She's a sleeper agent.
She's got a plan, I believe, and she goes out there and intentionally costs them the titles.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
But,
I mean, we're talking about all this about the Judgment Day. Well, we got to talk about this tag team that took the titles off the Judgment Day, the female tag team titles, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. What do
Yeah.
you think? I mean, were you expecting them to win? I don't know. I don't remember our predictions, but
Let me tell you, I hate this. I fucking hate it. When they come out and do this whole very scripted, like, I'm not your friend. Oh, I know you said that, and it's just back and forth, and it's just so fucking like rehearsed,
yeah,
and it's just horrible. And yeah, it's a waste. I can't buy into it. I don't like it at all. Uh, the, Charlotte Flair just it's like she is just going through the motions.
yeah.
I think
I'm
Alexa Bliss deserves better than that.
not a fan
But
of Charlotte right now.
no,
Not.
it's awful.
I've never been a fan of Charlotte. I just don't think she's that great of a wrestler. I don't know. She's
No,
not entertaining. But
yeah.
who would you like to see it get those titles back, or not titles back, but titles off of them?
Oh, Roxanne and Raquel, for sure.
You think that it's just gonna go straight back to the Judgment Day?
Oh, it has to. I mean, that's. I mean, unless the Kabuki Warriors get it, but um, they'd have to be heel, I guess. But yeah, I mean, they don't. They shouldn't have the belts on them too, and I think it should go back to Roxanne and Raquel. Those two were doing so great with the belts. Great heel, you know, champs, and I understand why they made all that change. It was great them having all the belts that really put them up higher, and then just like poof, gone. And it's like why? This storyline with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss is not very good at all. It
Agreed.
is these fucking dolls and this whole it's just ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a channel turner for me.
Yeah, but what's not a channel turner is Sheamus and Rusev right now.
Oh my god. This I love.
Yeah,
I love the brutality and how stiff they're working each other. Oh my god, so good.
agreed. Agreed. I mean,
They
even
two of the best.
what Rusev had a match. Who did he have a match with? He had a match with somebody.
Yeah.
Who was
Yeah,
it?
anyway,
But that match was good. I can't.
Sami
Sami
Zayn won
Zayn.
it.
That's right. That's right. That's why I couldn't remember. But I thought that match was good just because of Rusev.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I mean, Rusev and Sheamus, I feel like is a very underrated storyline right now that I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about. Uh, it's such a simple storyline. Like it's just two dudes wanting to beat the shit out of each other. That's it. There's really no other, uh, plot line other than that. And it's just kind
Yep.
of, and there's no belt involved. That's just plain and simple. Just keeping it simple, and
Yep.
it works for me. It works for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely love it. And I would love to see at the end of this for them to team up and become a tag team.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. This is your new age Road Warriors, your new age Legion of Doom, your Demolition.
Are they
These
both heel,
two.
or what's the deal with them?
No, Sheamus is a face right now. Rusev's
Okay,
a heel.
Rusev's a heel. So who do you think's gonna turn face or heel?
Well, it's got to be Rusev turning face. I don't see Sheamus. If they're going to be a tag team, I think that they gotta have a match, and it's the final match that they're going to have, and they just beat the shit out of each other. I mean, they've gone through so much already. They're earning the respect of each other, and that's where they're going with this. I think is they're just earning each other's respect of how brutal they can both be to each other and still get up and want more. Um, and I think you know, and you can get there. whoever the tag champs, Finn and JD, because they're Irish, they jump Sheamus because Sheamus lost, and he's an embarrassment to the local church back home. Whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
And they come out and beat the shit out of him because Father O'Neill from back home said, confession, 20 Hail Marys. And they beat the shit out of him in the middle of the ring. And Rusev's like, hold on, I just fucking went to war with this guy. He's got my respect. He runs back down, saves Sheamus. And then they fucking hug it out in the middle of the ring. And a new tag team is born.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, what would the tag team be called? The Treaty of Nations?
You're gonna ask me. The what?
The Treaty of Nations?
We had that before.
It was the League of Nations.
The League of Nations.
Yeah, but because it's only the two of them, Treaty of Nations. I don't know.
Right, that's right. Holy shit. Good job remembering that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you would call them.
Nah,
But
I don't know. The Bruisers. I don't know.
the Brutes. The Brutes.
The Brutes.
Yeah. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think them as a tag team, holy shit, man. They could get,
Yeah, that'd be dope.
matching gear.
Take the belts off the Wyatt Six.
Well, they're on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, but does it matter anymore? Does it matter?
Well, they got their little small tag team, like smaller guys over there.
Oh, okay.
It's not even anyway. But I think you have the opportunity on Raw because you got the Creed brothers who are big dudes, right? Now you got the War Raiders, big dudes. You could have these two. You could really create a nice tag team division with some of the bigger guys here. I think that would be a great way to go. But I don't see a storyline ending the next pay-per-view. But they're really taking it to the next level. I love it.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best storylines that they got going on right now.
Yeah.
And I'd probably rather watch them than the Seth Rollins gang and the Tribal Thief and the dog, the big dog, or whatever they're calling Braun Breaker. I don't know. But
yeah, it's funny you say that because it's just the same thing with them. Instead of, there should be segments backstage like DX used to have, or they're in a room, there's a couch, and they're making fun of somebody, or they're doing something, plotting something, and it's not just the same promo every single time, which is what they're doing. And it's kind of like, fuck, come on, let's give us something else. Show us who else you guys are. And it's just, here's one promo. It's the same thing we're going to say that we said last. And the same people are going to come out, and it's going to be the same result. So I think there needs to be more elements to this.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get
them targeting other people on the roster or something, or
absolutely.
know.
Yeah. There's got to be there's lower card guys who involved in storylines and not to sound mean, that don't matter in the grand scheme of storylines.
Yeah.
Fuck with them. Fuck with them and take them out and be the assholes.
Yeah. I would really like to see that. But like I don't know. I feel like this. I feel like they're gonna have it stick for a while, but
sure,
I also can see them not having it stick for a while because they're kind of going out hot right out the gate with who they're interacting with. They're already interacting with Roman Reigns. They're already interacting with Jey Uso and CM Punk, LA Knight, all these bigger names where it's kind of like, all right, now they're going to mess with these lower card guys. All right. Of course they're going to stomp them like they've been stomping, these higher card guys. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see Heyman and Rollins being together longer. Faction itself, Um, I think absolutely at some point you got to have Braun Breaker. No pun intended, but um, and I
He's too
think
good. He's too good to be part of that faction right now, I think.
well, no, but I think that helps him get to that level.
Yeah.
It's always, it's always like Hunter being in DX was a stepping stone for him to get to the next. It helped elevate him with somebody who's already over, like Shawn Michaels. So you have Braun Breaker here and stepping up here with somebody like who's already over, like Seth Rollins, right? And same with Bronson. Um, but then he can break away from and be that top guy then because he's been riding alongside him for so long, and now he's like, my turn, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, if I'm booking Royal Rumble 2026, Braun Breaker's winning the damn thing.
Yeah.
And he's going to Mania, and maybe that's where he faces Seth Rollins.
But I just don't see the Empire. I don't see a WWE where the Empire doesn't have all the belts on them. You know?
Well,
Or
maybe that's what I call the Empire. They're called the Vision, and they can't see it either.
yeah.
But
it would just look great. Bronson Reed with a belt, Braun Breaker with a belt, Seth Rollins with a belt. And then you can give Paul
sure.
Heyman a belt too. The 24/7 champion belt. We'll give it to Paul Heyman. I don't know.
But so the thing is, Breaker's already been Intercontinental Champion. Sure, he could be again, absolutely. But I think where he's going is the next step up. And I mean, how big is that for him to win the Royal Rumble? And Seth's like, that's great. I had the World Championship. Now you can get the Undisputed Championship. And he's like, hold on a second. I'm challenging you at WrestleMania. I get to
Wow.
decide who I challenge.
Yeah.
It's going to be you. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? And then that's how you break up that group. And, Bronson Reed would attack Braun Breaker on behalf of Rollins. And that would have Breaker and Braun go at it for the next month to prolong to get to the Rollins match. So that's if they're still together come January. I mean, who knows what's going to happen between now and then. In the wrestling world, that's a long freaking time.
All it takes is one of them to get injured.
Unfortunately, you do.
And that's it.
Yeah. But that's my pick for 2026 Rumble winners, Braun Breaker. And he'd be so over.
Out in Saudi Arabia.
Is that where it's happening, the actual Rumble?
Yeah.
Not happy about that.
Well, because it's happening in Saudi Arabia, do you think they're going to choose their winner to be someone else? Someone that will appeal to the Saudi Arabian people, or?
No, I think at that point it's like, here's what we're doing, and I do think the Saudis try and dictate, hey, we want to see this, but I think they get more of, we want to see this guy on the show. We want to see this guy on the show, and WWE brings him in. But what I would like to see is a 2-night Royal Rumble. If there's one show that needs 2 nights, it's the Royal Rumble. You can have the Women's Royal Rumble on Saturday night, and then the men's on Sunday night. 2 Royal Rumble matches on one card is exhausting, and it is too much.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've done it for a few years now, and it's just like, fuck,
Yeah,
So
Saturday all women's matches, and then Sunday all men's matches. That'd be
in
great.
America. And the women's stays in America. That way they can wear whatever the hell they want and do whatever they want. And then the men's can be in Saudi Arabia. Problem solved.
The jet lag, man, that'd be awful.
No, the women are what?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see. Okay.
I'm saying in America. The men are already over in Saudi Arabia. They do the next day.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad.
So
I just picture
you got
everybody traveling as
best of
once.
both worlds. Yeah, best of both worlds.
Yeah.
But then you do have that problem though. The next night for Raw, what do? You know, do you fly everybody back from Saudi Arabia so you can do Raw, or do you fly people from the States to Saudi Arabia so you can do Raw?
That's a. I would imagine it would be fly him to the States or fly him to Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia.
I just don't want to see a Royal Rumble match for the women where they got to cover up everything, and it's just like, you know, get your archaic laws out of my face. I want to enjoy
Yeah.
the best event of the year, how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. But
Anyway,
yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that. That's not till a
that's
while.
I'm aware. Yep.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
but yeah. Is there anything you'd like to add? I mean,
no, man, I think we've gone over a lot tonight.
yeah. I feel like there was one thing I wanted to talk about just briefly, but I totally forgot about it. Oh no, it was just because you mentioned you know, having the Empire backstage making fun of people. I think I think it was this past Monday night. Um, I binged them because I was a little behind, so I binged them. So it's kind of hard to remember, you know, which one was this week, which one was last week. But it was when it was CM Punk and LA Knight in the ring, and Braun Breaker's like, "What are you guys gonna do? You guys are like 40."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
making fun of like because LA Knight and CM Punk are around the same age.
yeah.
Um,
You guys are 100 years between the two of you. Yeah, hilarious,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's the kind of shit you got to be doing. You know, that's the kind of shit you got to be doing, and they got to be stage too, like its own segment. You know, its own promo
yeah,
where they're just talking. You know, about their dastardly plan. I mean, you know, you look at a good movie, a good show, you always see the bad guys plotting something,
yeah, yeah.
but there's dialogue in between the plot to really put over who they are, you know, and we got to have more of that.
Agreed, agreed. But yeah, Braun Breaker. I've, we're big fans of Braun Breaker. We want to see him, you know, at the top, and I think it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before he's at the top.
I mean, why can't we go backstage and we're in the Vision Empire's room? They have their own room, and it's got pictures of Seth on the wall and the Steiner brothers, right? Braun Breaker's dad and uncle. You know, shit that is like, oh man, look at that. That's crazy. And here's Bronson Reed on the couch flicking through a shoe catalog. I mean, simple shit like that. That's
Yeah,
like that's fucking. You know, it's entertainment, man. This is what we do.
yeah,
And then Paul comes and says, "Well, you looking at that stuff again?" Oh, puts it away like it's a porn mag or something. You
yes,
know, you got
yes,
caught doing something wrong. You know, and it's
yeah,
like, oh, sorry, I was. You know, I mean, this is entertainment, right? This is what we're supposed to be doing. So it shouldn't always be just, you know, coming out and we're just gonna blah, 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 you know. Who are these guys? Let me know who they are. But entertain me too. So I don't
yeah.
know, stuff like that, you know.
Well, a lot of people they didn't want R-Truth back because he was a good wrestler. It's because they made them laugh. Like that's,
Absolutely.
you know,
He was entertaining, right? And when he
yeah,
stopped doing the funny shit and says, I'm just gonna be here to kick ass, people okay,
yeah, whatever.
cool.
Boo.
And that's the thing. That's people can shit on Vince all day long. The entertainment stuff is what fucking sold tickets.
Yeah,
And the most tickets that were ever sold, you know, obviously Hogan was the biggest consistently. As far as getting big TV money was when Vince Russo was in charge of creative. He was creating entertaining storylines for everybody. It wasn't just storylines for everybody, it was entertaining stories. Val Venus was the former porn star, right? And then you had that whole thing where they were going to chop his private off, right? And because he slept with this guy's wife, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here? And then you have the guy over here who's a trans, you know, Goldust whatever you want to call him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then you have Steve Austin, who wants to kick the boss's ass, and you have a guy who's dead, but and then you have The Rock, who's just this. Everything was entertaining. So no matter what segment you're watching, it wasn't just a for a purist like me, a wrestling match. But you're going to be entertained. So if you're flicking through and you're not maybe not a wrestling, you're going to be entertained, and you're going to stay watching because, in spite of the wrestling that you may not like, these guys are making you laugh or giving you some shit.
Yeah.
So that's what they got to get back to, and they got to get back to that with everybody instead of these Lyra Valkyria segments where she's acting so serious, like she's an upset little girl, and it comes across as just bad fucking acting.
Stay out of my life.
Stay out of my life.
All right. Whatever.
Get a restraining order. I don't know.
There you go. Wrestle for a restraining order.
There you go. Restraining order on a pole match. I don't know.
That'd be great.
But and I'm not saying again, WWE is very good right now. It's very good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But let's kick it up a notch and let's be more entertaining. Let's put the E back into the WWE.
World Wrestling. They should just call themselves WW.
Yeah, WW.
WW. But
WWF. How's that?
We can't call it that because of a fucking company with a panda as a logo or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Panda Express or something. They took it, but but yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I got.
That's all I got too, man.
With take what you will with whatever we've said. I've been thoroughly entertained with the past 2 weeks of the WWE. SmackDown, haven't watched SmackDown. Got to figure out how to get myself to watch SmackDown. But Raw, SummerSlam, I think were great programs, especially the Raw without Jey Uso. But yeah, I feel like our opinions on Jey Uso at this point if you watch the show. But yeah, I mean, WWE it's been good so far. Not great, not the best, but it's been good. It's been entertaining.
Watchable.
Yeah, watchable. I'd rather watch WWE than AEW, but I haven't watched AEW ever, so. But
try it sometime.
I don't think I will. I think I love sticking in my WWE bubble.
Okay.
Yeah, but
don't tell anybody on social media that.
No, yeah, I don't talk to a lot of people on social media. but yeah, is there anything else you want to add?
Nah,
before
I'm
we,
good, man. It's 10:03, kind of past my bedtime.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, this has been the Doyledin podcast. Let us know what you think. Do you think our opinions are correct
dog shit
or dog shit? Let us know. I mean, it'd be great to maybe discuss what other people's opinions are about our opinions on the next show or something. But yeah, this has been the Doyledin podcast. Have a good day. Have a good night. Whatever your time zone may be, don't forget to always stay Doyledin. Have a good one. Take care.